I've known Jason for a long time, and he does a great job developing players. I think the first time he and I worked together was about in 2005 at a camp that we ran with USA Basketball. And since then, he and I kept in contact with each other. Does a great job of developing players. So, you know, be attentive, be listening, which you've done. I was really impressed with your attitude on it. I want to give you 4 C's that I think will help you as you go along in the process of basketball. We tell our USA Basketball players the same thing. First C is choices. So what's the first choice you have every day?
So we get up.
Get up. That's the first choice you have. What is the biggest choice you have daily, do you think? What's the biggest choice you have daily?
I would say making decisions.
Making decisions. What else?
What you're gonna do?
What you're gonna do.
How you gonna do it?
How you're gonna do it. All that together equals attitude. Your biggest choice every day is your attitude. That's the biggest choice you have to do every day. If you wake up and say, you know what, you have a great attitude towards life, towards doing things, and you know what, life's not always easy. Basketball's not always easy. We all know that. But you have to have that attitude where that's a choice. That is a choice you can make. Now, choices are who you are. So if you continually make poor choices, that tells us who you are. If you make great choices or you make good choices, then that's who you are. Now, we all make bad choices along the way. I made some bad choices in my life along the way, but I made more good choices than bad choices. I have a son that played basketball in college and high school. He made some bad choices as he was growing up, but most of his choices were good choices. So all together, all those choices together are who you are. That's who, George, that's who you are. All the choices together is who you are. So you can control that. Right? The second C, what's first C?
Choices.
Together, what's first C?
Choices.
Okay. Second C is a little bit what Jason was getting you here. Comfort zone. You know, some of these drills get you out of what? Comfort zone a little bit. And if you're going to get better, you've got to get out of your comfort zone. You know, it's easy to sleep in until 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. But, you know, get out of your comfort zone a little bit. If you really want to get something done, you might have to get up at 8 o'clock or 7:30 or whatever. So comfort zone is something that, you know, if you stay in your comfort zone, laying on the couch, playing with your phone all day, you know, you're probably not going to be the person you want to be. I'm not even talking about a ball player. So comfort zone is huge. Jason gets you out of your comfort zone. And that's how you improve. Comfort zone has nothing to do with being athletic. Has nothing to do with being the best player. Comfort zone is how good you can be. So that's the second C. The third C is communication. Right now I really know none of you, but I kind of get an idea of who you are by what?
Attitude.
I don't know your attitude.
Body language?
Body language. I kind of get an attitude, or I kind of get to know who you are by your body language. Is that fair? No, that's not fair at all. Somebody can look at you and you have bad body language. They think that you don't really want to improve yourself, or you're kind of a jerk or whatever. So how you portray yourself is really huge. I go watch thousands of players every year. I go to games all the time. And I get there early because I want to watch the body language of the players we're looking at. And if they have bad body language, we will not invite them. There's some really good players that we didn't invite because they had poor body language. So you communicate by body language. You also communicate by voice, don't you? And what Jason was doing out here in the drills is you were communicating by your clapping it up, encouragement. That's all good ways to communicate. So keep in mind there's 2 ways to communicate. So the third C is what?
Communication.
Third C is what?
Communication.
Okay, last C is compete. You got to know how to compete. We want a player who really can compete. Now, does compete have anything to do with ability?
No.
What does it have to do with?
Effort. Heart.
Effort, heart,
Who you want to be?
who you want to be. What's the first thing I said? You have a choice of what?
Attitude.
Attitude. That's an attitude. Competing is an attitude. You know what? I want to compete. I don't care if the player is supposedly be 10 times better than me, or I'm supposed to be a lot better than this player. I want to compete. Everything you do, you got to compete. So the first C is what? Choices. And the biggest choice you make every day as you get out of bed is what? Attitude. That's the biggest choice you make. Your mom might be yelling at you, get out of bed. Your dad might be yelling at you, whatever. But you know what? Your attitude is really what sets you apart. So choices. What was the second C? Comfort zone. Jason gets you out of your comfort zone in order to do what?
Make us better.
Make you better. That's right. If he lets you do whatever you want to in your comfort zone, you're not going to get much better. Third C was
Communication.
communication. 2 ways. What's the 2 ways? Body language and
Communicating.
talking, voice language. And the last C was
Compete.
compete. Of all the other attributes that I have scouts that call me all the time about players. How was Justice Winslow? How was Jason Tatum? But they want to know, the first question they ask is, first of all, what kind of kid is he? Does he have a great attitude? Does he work hard? The second question is, can he compete? When the chips are down, can he compete? And so that's really, to me, a vital term. So I appreciate you letting me speak to you. I do work for USA Basketball. I coached high school basketball for over 40 years. It's a privilege to be with you because I love the game of basketball. Somebody has given you right here a very, made you love the game of basketball, right? So, I mean, or else you wouldn't be here. So when you love something as much as you do, then you really worked hard to get better at it. So I applaud you for being here. All right? Give yourselves 3 claps on 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Appreciate it.